One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero. We are in Columbus, Ohio, live this morning. Let's give it up for all the people in the house. Thank you for joining us. To all of you who are moms or being the important role of mom figure in someone else's life, we wish you a very, very happy Mother's Day. And we thank you for the big job you do day in, day out. That's some jazz song. That's all I know about that one. But wow, we thank you. And so today we're celebrating with Reverend Christy Hardwick. She gives the talk every second Sunday of the month. And today it's going to be a talk called Mother May I. I can't wait to hear what that's about for everybody who actually asked their parents before they did something. I think some of us who learned early on it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. I don't know if that's you, but we'll find out how this unravels. Well, we thank you for being here. We're going to begin this morning the way we start every SoulCall Sunday is, we are a very experiential community. We like to create a conscious global community. It means we participate with the energies. It's not just someone talking and you just listen and think about it. It's we actually get in there and participate with the energy around us. So we start this morning with a beautiful practice of Qigong. And this morning we're going to welcome by video Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz, who's going to offer a traditional Chinese medicine practice called Qigong. And we invite you to participate wherever you are. So if you're in the room, please stand up and give yourself some space and welcome Deborah. Yeah.
Today we are going to practice the small mountain. Please look forward. Stretch the vision from inside the mind's home, eyes open, outward through yin tongue, the third eye, to merge with infinite space, gather all the healing qi, love, good information, and pull it back through yin tongue to the center of the head, and very gently close the eyes. Now with the eyes closed, it's very easy to feel the mind shining brightly inside. From there, place your attention to the top of the head, Ba Hui, and open up, expanding to infinite space. Gather all the healing qi, good wisdom, and pull it down through Ba Hui into the mind's home, illuminating, lighting up the entire body into pure qi, all the way down to the bubbling spring of each foot, Yongshen, and open up, expanding through the earth to infinite space, gathering all the healing qi, love, good wisdom, and pull it up into the center of our essence. Now, we are grounded from below, anchored from above, merging us all together, heart to heart, mind to mind, as one. Very slowly, very gently, begin to lift the shoulders upward, moving up toward the ears up. Relax the arms, relax the elbows, hands, the whole body. Just the shoulders moving up, tuck in the chin to merge with the neck, all the way up, up. Place your mind's intention between the shoulders. Now relax, very slowly relax. Qi inside, very quiet, calm. Now move the hands to to the back. Place the palms together, thread the fingers, and straighten the elbows. Placing the mind's consciousness in between the shoulder blades. Now push the shoulder blades together. Push. Push. Keep the hands folded, but completely relax the shoulders. Now again, straighten the arms, pulling the shoulder blades together. 1, squeeze. 2, squeeze. 3, squeeze. Keep the palms together, threaded together. Now relax the shoulders. Relax the hands to the side and enjoy flying, being lifted, supported by your own chi field. Relax. Soul. Gently open the eyes, smiling from the inside out. Thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you, Deborah. Doesn't that just feel good? Everybody's so relaxed. So beautiful. And so we thank you for joining us from wherever you're joining us from. Let us know where you are on the planet. Hi, Luke. Happy to know you're out there. And just say a word or two of hello. We love to know where you're tuning in from. So now it is my joy to bring in Reverend Christy Hardwick, who is joining us from Italy this morning. And she's going to introduce the music, and she's going to offer the talk today, which the talk title is Mother May I. So welcome, Christy, and everyone enjoy. I'll see you on the other side. Ciao.
Ciao, Bella. Bellas. And bellos, however you identify. So happy to be here with you. And thank you, Deborah, for that beautiful Qigong exercise. I love the idea of my individual Qi field of energy. I just got very lifted by that. I hope you did too. The song I chose for our meditation this morning to continue with this idea of staying in the body and centered. And now we take that emotional part of us and the mental part of us, and we let it float away on this idea of flowing with the river of life. So whatever you brought in the body, whatever you brought in emotionally and mentally, let this song wash over you and allow yourself to just flow with this present moment with the wonderful Andy Anderson and flowing with the river of life.
Traveling down life's highway, full of goodness and grace. I wake up every morning with the smile upon my face, 'cause I know everything I need to know, but I know there's still more to know. So I don't say no, let's let it flow and let it continue to grow, and know that I feel alright. with the river of life. It's the way it is.
Thank you, Andy. Flowing with the river of life. I love the melody of the song and the words and the sentiment. I also love the way he takes it from something gentle and sweet to something intense and fierce. And we know that's how rivers can be, and any body of water can be. Sometimes sweet and gentle, and sometimes throwing folks from rafts and boats. That's Mother Nature, right? And like mothers also can be gentle and sweet and going with the flow of things, but sometimes they can be fierce as well. We're going to talk about mother a little bit today, and not the actual mother. I did write about my mother in the beautiful book that Natalia and Lisa produced, Signs and Symbols of Our Ancestors. Talked about her in a little story about how she showed up to me after she left the planet. And other stories in the book are also about mothers. And in every person's story, obviously, there's a mother. We didn't create ourselves. We found ourselves here, and we came through some being that we name mother. Sometimes we have the one who birthed us. Sometimes we have a different mother. Sometimes we have a different set of fathers or mothers. But at some point, there was mother who birthed us, and then there's mother who raises us. And mother is a fraught thing for some of us. It's not always simple. It's not always that we just appreciate all the great things that mother did. We also notice and acknowledge some of the things that mother may have done that had an impact on us throughout our life that wasn't something that we need now. So this idea of mother and the Mother's Day celebration is something that is not simple and just one way of looking at it. My beautiful wife, Jane, sent me an article that was about the woman who wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic. I think her last name is Howe, and I think you pronounce it Howe, Howe. And it's that song that we know, my eyes have seen the glory. Right? So she wrote that song, and a lot of people associate 1910 or so with Mother's Day as we celebrate it. But actually, after the Civil War, she was a suffragist and an abolitionist, and she really thought that it wasn't wise that we were allowing our sons to go and kill other people's sons, and that women needed to rise up and have a voice at the table. So her original idea of this idea of celebrating mothers was to celebrate their power and their agency and their ability to contribute something, which I found very interesting because we've sort of made the day into something about making mom breakfast in bed, which is a beautiful thing. I appreciated it all those years. But there's more to the story. There's more to this mother archetype that we can learn from. I titled the talk, Mother May I? Do you remember that game? Any of you in the room? I can't see you, but I know you're raising your hand because some of you played. I'm one of those people who loves to play games. So Mother May I was one of those. Simon Says was another one. Green light, red light. Remember all those summertime games that you played outdoors? Mother May I was an interesting one. There was a mother up front, and whoever was playing the mother, it didn't matter, boy or girl, whatever gender, the person who was playing the mother would stand up there and would name people who were lined up in a line and give them instructions. So if you remember this, they would say, you know, if mother was Kelly, then Kelly might say to Christy, Christy, I give you permission to take 3 steps forward. And I would have to say, Mother, may I? And then I would take the 3 steps forward. And sometimes if there were smaller people and larger people, the mother would say, Jackie, take 4 giant steps forward, because maybe it's a small person with little legs, so they would get a little ahead, because the idea of the game was to get to mother first, right? So you follow the instructions and you move according to what she says. And it's also fun for the one playing mother, because the one who's the mother can say to Joe, take 3 steps forward. And then Joe can say, Mother, may I? And she can say, no. And then he doesn't get to, because in this game, you just have to follow mother instructions. And then there's another bit, a consequence. So if mother says to you, take 4 giant steps forward, and you don't say, mother, may I, and start stepping, you have to go all the way back to the beginning, wherever you started, okay, on the starting line. And maybe everyone else is up in front of you. So it was a silly game in some ways, but it also was a game that taught something about consequences and boundaries and who was in charge and authority and all those good things. So I thought about it in terms of each of us, and not just the mother of our origin or the mother that raised us or whatever mother we knew or didn't know, but that mother that we embody from whoever we learned these lessons from, these lessons of giving permission, these lessons of boundaries and consequences. I know that there were plenty of consequences in my family if I broke any of the rules, which I sometimes did, as Lisa alluded to. Not all of us asked permission for the things that we did. I was a pretty good rule follower most of the time. But there were a few things that I liked to do that I didn't ask permission for, and I often got in trouble for. And I was not very clever about hiding the things that I did that I wasn't supposed to do. So I would come home and I would have some blue jeans on, and they would have big red stains at the knees. And so my mother would say, have you been climbing fences and pinching peaches again? No, I didn't. Yeah, so what's on your pants, right? I did, obviously, do that, and would get caught sometimes. There'd be some consequences. And for not telling the truth, the consequence would be often that I was relegated to my room or was kept from having something. So I learned to follow the rules. Another thing that was absolutely clear in our family were the values that they shared around following sort of the commandments of not stealing or hurting or murdering or coveting or any of those kind of things. And I had friends who thought that stealing from the TG&Y, the five and dime store, was a really fun thing to do. I didn't think it was a fun thing to do, but I wanted to participate. But I was really nervous about it. So I saw this little package of Mexican jumping beans, and I so much didn't want to steal that I actually just opened it and took a couple of them out and put them in my little bag. And as we're walking out, of course, the Mexican jumping beans start to jump, and the person at the store says, "What have you got there?" And then I was in big trouble. So they really scared me, and they said, "Oh, we're going to call your parents," all that kind of thing, which they did. And it was only a block away from my home, but that walk home was one of the longest blocks I ever walked. And boy, did I get in trouble when I got home. So I learned some lessons through consequences and learned some lessons through appreciation also. When I brought home a good report card, I got, my mom's appreciation. And that was a good thing also. But it shapes you. And sometimes moms only know what they know and may have learned from their mother or someone else in their life to behave in a different way. In our family, there was also corporal punishment. So I was spanked, often. And there were other things that happened in my family that didn't necessarily give me a message of possibility and safety and hope in the world. The thing is, the things we imprinted from the mother experience, we embody them, but we can choose to not embody those things that don't serve us today. I don't know how many people that I know, and myself included, that for a very long time held the mother story and decided that my mother was the reason for different dysfunctions in my life. And I have a dear friend, Reverend Temple, who says, once you're past 30, you can't blame your parents anymore. I think that's good wisdom. Once you're past 30, you can't blame your parents anymore. So now all 3 of my children are past 30, so I guess I'm off the hook now. But this idea of using the mother embodiment as a reason to hold yourself back or to follow in the footsteps of mother because you thought she was perfect and wonderful, but it's not necessarily your life. It's time, and it's always time, to take a look at what we've embodied from any of our experiences, including our mother experience. And whether or not we're still waiting for permission from some mother figure, it doesn't even have to be your mother. You may have replaced your mother with other figures in your life and given them power over giving you consequences and letting you know what your boundaries were and letting you know what you have permission to do. But what if we embody the mother archetype in ourselves? The part of mother that is nurturing, the part of mother that gives you permission to test your own boundaries, that lets you learn what you're capable of, that lets you fall, that lets you fail, that lets you win, and that supports you through it all. This is my thought about mother, is that each of us is in ourselves, whether we have birthed children or adopted children or have no children and had nothing to do with children our entire life, we are still embodying the mother archetype because we can nurture and we can take care and we can give ourselves boundaries and we can give ourselves challenges and we can also appreciate ourselves. So what if instead of Mother May I, it's I give myself permission. I give myself permission to be all that I can imagine myself being. I give myself permission to find my joy. I give myself permission to take 4 giant steps forward without asking, Mother May I. Who in your life do you deeply appreciate? Who brings you joy? Who challenges you? Hopefully, one of those people is yourself. You can free yourself to the next experience and you can move out of your mother's house, out of the embodiment of the mother archetype that you inherited into your own. In the example I started out with, I mentioned the wonderful words of, it was Julia Ward Howe, Howe, who wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic. I say that because it's interesting that it's called a battle hymn when she really was pretty opposed to the idea of war. But we know it as glory, glory, hallelujah. And the words that she came up with when she wrote it was, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on." And then it goes on to glory, glory, hallelujah. So in the spirit of the idea of choosing our own boundaries, using our own voice, not asking permission, I have made new words for that beautiful tune because I found it very powerful, this idea. And instead of the words that she uses, I use words that are meaningful to me. My eyes have seen the glory of the working of the law. The raising of my consciousness is its own true reward. I quit my fight with worldly things. I'm laying down my sword. In truth, I'm marching on. This idea of marching on into our own truth, our own permission. We no longer need to play the game, Mother May I, or ask of anyone. We need to just ask for that deepest part of ourselves to give us guidance and to go on into the glory of being our authentic, loving, whole, and beautiful selves. Happy Mother's Day. I chose a song for the end of this because whatever those words meant to you and whatever this day means to you, whatever you are doing and being is exactly what you need to be doing and being right now. There is no one to ask permission of whether I'm living my life right. Check in with yourself. Continue to align, like Deborah started out with the Qigong, aligning with that highest part of your energy field, aligning with the calm center of peace. And then you know that whatever you are embodying, whatever form of mother, the challenger, the fierce one, the nurturing one, at any given time is going to be exactly what's right for you right then. The wonderful Amy Steinberg.
am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am. I am a blessing manifest, and I can't undress the moment. Naked time unwinds beneath my mind, and from within I find the kind of beauty only I can find. I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am, surrendering so willingly to be the perfect me inside this now. And truly, how else could it be? Destiny, she blesses me. Destiny, she blesses me. And when I try to fight or run, I only wind up back at square one. And when I think I know what's best for me, well, fate, she takes me back to exactly where I need to be. I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am, divinely timed and shining brightly. Yes, I believe that there's a purpose just for me. Yes, I believe that we are light and we shine infinitely. Oh, I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am, not aimlessly existing. See, I am in perfect harmony with universal energy, and I am truly free when I accept my own divinity. Yes, the power is within. Look at me closely. Tell me exactly what you see. If you are paying attention, you will now begin ascension of the mind. Why? Well, because if you look at me just right, you see a kiss. It took a kiss to make this breath exist. The intersection of my mother's and father's lips to touch, twist, perfect. What came next to produce me? Yes, look at me and you will see the breeze it took to shake the leaves to make my mother's hair move. My father dare touch it and say, please, may I have a kiss? Yes, the breeze made me exist. And if you want to get even deeper into this right now, when you look at me, you will see a big old cloud. That's right, the cloud it took to form the storm, to make the breeze, to shake the leaves, to inspire the lip lock as a raindrop will pop up out of these words. You heard me right. Look at me close enough, you'll see a dark, stormy night. And what is night? Well, night ain't night with the polar opposite of sunlight. So if you watch the way my hands sway, you see the light of day. And every day is a testament to the sediment of the earth's core. It's ever spinning enormous force. So when you look at me just right, you see the spark of the source. But the most fascinating thing about this, and it's true, you look at me just right, you see you. It's only what you perceive, how you believe, the space between you and me that creates reality. So when I sing, you can feel it. When I cry, you can heal it. When I speak words, you can be the words I speak by singing them with me. Peace, love, free. 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 And when I try to fight or run, I only wind up back at square one. And when I think I know what's best for me, well, fate, she takes me back. And when I am all alone and full of fear, I just remember the rising sun always appears. And every day miracles that I see. Will you take me back? Yes, you'll take me back. Yes, you'll take me back to exactly where I need to be. I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am. I am exactly where I need to be. I need to be exactly where I am.
Thank you, Amy Steinberg. And thank all of you for this time today. I get to turn it back over to the wonderful founder and spiritual leader, Lisa Ferraro.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that great reminder that we don't need to ask permission. We need to co-create with the infinite cosmic mother, the divine force, that spark of divinity within each one of us that Amy was singing about so wonderfully. And thank you also, Andy Anderson. It's so nice when we're flowing in the river of life and not getting thrown into the river of life, right? Like flailing in the river of life, different. But we do take turns doing these things, don't we? Sometimes it's nice and smooth, and sometimes it's time to learn a little something about how we navigate. So let's take all of this into prayer. When I say prayer, I mean cosmic, divine remembrance of our infinite potential. May each step we take, may each breath we breathe inform us to our divine purpose. And may that bring us joy. And may that joy overflow from our hearts and our consciousness as we create a conscious global community, thriving and alive, teeming with love, beaming with life force. May all who come in contact with us catch a whiff of our divine joy. May we spark that instant which becomes infinite, spreading out into infinity. I give great thanks, knowing that I don't know, but I do know how to connect. And I practice this presence, and I allow for spirit, for the infinite intelligence to fill in with these spaces that I can't see. Help us to grow and to step boldly to our outer edge, to let go of things that no longer serve us, so that we may fully embrace all that is there for us. Things we can't yet see until we take that faithful step. The one we were destined for, that one of courage, the one of confidence, of divine realization. Om Shanti, peace. Amen, Ashe, whatever else you want to say. So I thank you for joining us this morning. For those of you who are live and in person with us, we're starting a brand new thing. Next week, we're going to have another camera set up too. We're going to get this dialed in. But to my right, we're going to have a featured artist of the month. So this is going to be an area where we're going to feature people who are coming together to create art and things for our eyes to fall upon to inspire us. So this week, I'm not sure where this comes from. I don't know. But so we're starting some really cool things. And in a few weeks, as we develop, as you know, we've only been going live here since the beginning of April. And it's amazing. I want to give it up for all the volunteers who put our beautiful backdrop together and create our lovely space. But there is a sign-up sheet if you would like to be part of our Kirtan group. And that is a Sanskrit word. It's just divine singing. It's an experience of really cosmic life force through chanting. But we're putting our Kirtan group together. We're going to start rehearsing, and we're going to roll it out the last Sunday of June. It's going to be our first one. And then we're going to have live artists joining us from time to time, and other live speakers talking about different kinds of things, quantum physics and how we participate with life, and juicing the joy, as I like to say. So stick with us, share us with your friends. Please go to our website, soulcallglobal.org, and sign up for our newsletter. It's a really beautiful newsletter to share with friends who want to get a sense of who, SoulCall what? I think of the Grinch like a holiday hoobie wuddy. We're doing lots of different things. We're going to be focused primarily on our fundraising efforts to create a conscious global community through education, contemplation, creativity, but also very much working with women and children's issues, especially as things are rolling out the way they are. We started out working with bringing art into foster care centers, and we're going to start doing more of that in the months to come. So one thing I want to alert you to is thank you for your donations. And coming up in September is the Columbus Foundation's The Big Give. So if you want to start squirreling away funds that you can throw into the pot in September, somebody is going to be matching those dollar for dollar. So in the meantime, I thank you for the contributions you make. It helps us keep ourselves going. It helps us sustain and create wonderful programs. So thank you for your contributions, and no amount is too big or too small. If you're in need of prayer, we invite you to drop a line through email at prayers@soulcallglobal.org. We've got a fabulous prayer team who will pray with you and for you. And like I like to sing, our prayer team's connected to the healing team, and we send energy, Reiki energy, out to you and your loved ones as well. So allow us to pray for you. We really appreciate that. Some exciting events coming up. This in 2 weeks, 2 Wednesdays from now, the 17th, the 24th, and the 31st. Helen, you want to jump out here and so everybody can see you? Helen Yee is going to be offering a live and in-person and live stream Qigong class. Woo! Come on over. Come on over. Tell us a little about what you're going to be doing with us in Qigong. It's going to be right here at AIAM from 7 to 8 p.m., 3 Wednesdays in a row, and each week is going to be something different, so you don't have to. You could sign up for any one. You could show up. It's $20 per session. And what you going to be doing?
Thank you, Lisa. I'm going to actually do a Qigong, medical Qigong that's called the Soaring Crane. And so you will learn the first routine. There's 5 routines to this amazing Qigong practice that I learned in China from my master there. And then I also have many Qigong exercises that will help your energy flow more optimally and cultivating it, circulating it into the different meridian channels, but also storing it. So that's always a good thing for in case you do feel a little low on energy, or you feel like maybe invasion of a bacteria or something. The body will naturally kick in more of the immune system and also energy to help you recover quickly and more efficiently.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's storing energy in the body battery. I never feel worn out. Do you? I mean, I just, I totally can't use this. I don't know about anybody else. Thank you so much. So as you can see, it's going to be amazing. We're so lucky. Yeah, we're so lucky to have Helen. We thank her for the use of AIAM. It's a wonderful space. Yeah, really, really cool. So the other thing is on Monday nights, every Monday from 8 until 9. We have Monday meditations, and you could join in live stream from anywhere. And we just go deep into silent meditation. I'll give you some practices that can help still the mind, calm the body, and get into a deep state of reset. So what we're offering are ways that you can recharge yourself and to practice the presence of the infinite. Just by walking into the room, you can change the energy of it in a positive way. Sometimes people can do that in a way that's like, what the heck? I'm getting out of here. But just by showing up, you don't even have to say anything. But it's mostly for ourselves so that we can have access to more of the information that is around us at all times that we might miss because we're not centered. So Monday night meditation. And I think that's it for now. I feel like I'm forgetting something. But if you know somebody you would like to have featured as the Artist of the Month, drop us a line at info@soulcallglobal.org. info@soulcallglobal.org. And I'll make sure that gets to Lisa with a Y, who's going to be spearheading that opportunity. So once again, thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Reverend Christy. And we'll see you next week, SoulCall Global. Join us live here in Columbus, Ohio. And remember, wherever you are on the planet, ready to say it with me? You are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love.